Happy Halloween. It's Halloween. The veil is thinnest today, guys. And tomorrow. Let's utilize this energy. Blue heron. Blue heron. Whale. There's that whale song again. Anything else? We need some messages today. I'm feeling it. This might be a long one. Black Panther. Okay. So we're still talking about the ancient records here. I'm not sure what Blue Heron or what Black Panther are about. We will come back to that at the end. I'm going to pull all the cards today, guys. Why? Because it's Halloween, because the veil is thin, and because I'm feeling like we need it today. That was fast. The Singer of Initiation. Someone's being initiated. Maybe by the Dark Lady. This is kind of good for Halloween. We have the Dark Lady. We haven't pulled her yet. Or the Singer of Initiation. So that's nice. Ooh, the Dark Lady. Someone's accessing their dark feminine. Or someone is involved with the dark feminine. Ooh, and the Guardian of the Gate. Wow. Sorry about that awful noise that's happening outside. I don't know if you guys can hear it. You guys might be hearing noises. We are going through an initiation right now. Okay, there is the Guardian of the Gate here. Now, you could look at the Guardian of the Gate as the High Priestess. Is it 2? No, it's 3 in this. It'd be funny if it was 2, the High Priestess. This is the number of the Empress. But we're being pushed through. We're being pushed through a gate right now. We're being initiated. All right? And the veil is thin right now. The veil is thin right now. Now, I do want to talk about this a little bit today. It's Halloween. It's All Saints. This is a time when we honor this time of year. We honor the astrology that's happening when things start to die. And this does represent when things start to die. Now, I heard someone talking. It's funny because this makes sense with having Mercury in Sag. It makes sense with my reading yesterday. This is how it came up for me. The idealism, right? I ran into someone in my community who was saying that they don't celebrate Halloween because, you know, they were hearing some other, you know, spiritual person talk about how we can open up and be susceptible to spirits on Halloween when we celebrate Halloween. Now, this is true. This is true. But we're always susceptible to spirits. We're always susceptible to demons, especially if we're sensitive. And a lot of the people who come here, hate to break it to you, but you're sensitive. You're probably an empath. Like, if you really are, if you're not just like watching this to watch me, if you're actually getting the things that I'm talking about, then you're probably an empath, which means that you're probably open, which means that you're probably susceptible. Okay? So we always have to protect ourselves energetically. Always. And as we wake up more, we're all waking up more. All right? We're going to have to be more and more careful about this. This is a time when we can commune with the other side. But if you know that you're protected, then you're safe. This is what I'm trying to tell people is that, you know, demons, spirits, entities, they are real, but they're only real because we made them real. Everything is only real because we made it real, because there was awareness around it. So we're only susceptible to evil spirits. We're only susceptible to demons. We're only susceptible to bad energies when we're afraid of it. This is a time of honoring the other side, right? I'm going to say that I practice Halloween. Halloween used to be my favorite holiday. It's not anymore. It's still my second favorite. Something really bad happened to me 2 years ago on Halloween. It was a Scorpio eclipse. Do you guys remember that eclipse? Something really bad happened, you know? Evil spirits can get to us. Bad things can happen, but it happens through us and what we allow in. What we allow in with our choices. So, don't be scared. Make this a time of honoring. I believe that we started wearing costumes to ward off evil spirits. Like to scare them. I'll look that up. Yeah, it is. It's, you know, the Samhain. the Celts would wear costumes to ward off evil spirits. And we don't need to do that. We're always protected. But it's a time of honoring the other side. This is a time of being aware of the other side, being aware of the forces, being aware of our sensitivity. Now, I'm a medium. I always commune with the dead. I always commune with the other side. Okay, so we always have to protect our energy. This comes through belief. It comes through energetic practice, but it really just comes through belief. Belief in your own protection. Okay, do we need a astrological card? Thank you. The sun. You're always protected by the light. Always. Even through the darkest dark. Even through the foggiest of fog. You know, things come about with Neptune. Neptune's the space between, is what I like to call it. It's like the Holy Spirit. It's what shapes everything. That's why it's so backwards. What's this? It's like with all the Neptune stuff that we're dealing with during the fog, we can get really confused. We can get really deluded. We can get really, really lost in the fog. 'Cause it's a thriller night. And we're going into a big one. Like, this is going to be lasting for a while. Okay? A while. Neptune with Saturn. Okay? And during the times that are scariest, that we can't see, that's when we like to cling on to what is known. That's when we want to go to what is safe. Your belief, your purpose, your light needs to shine brighter than any fog, than any unknowing. The nodes. Anything else from this deck? I think I was just supposed to talk about that. The moon and Scorpio. That makes sense. There's the sun and there's the moon. The feminine is the dark one. The feminine, like, everything fits in Hermeticism, in life, in this game of life on Earth. In order to have physical reality, things need to be separate. There needs to be separation in physical. We know that everything is one. Neptune. We know that everything is one. But here on Earth, there needs to be a dividing so that there is physicality. That's how physics works, okay? The dividing. So first there was the light, then there was the separation of the light and the dark. Okay, so first there was the void, first there was nothing, which is technically feminine. Okay, which is technically it's pure reception, and from that came the light. Then there was the separation of the light and dark. This is the ultimate up and down. It's what the sun and the moon in the zodiac, they represent the good and the bad, the light and the dark, the masculine, the feminine, the material, and the spiritual. They represent the primary split more than anything else in the chart, more than any other planet, all right? They're the luminaries, okay? And it's funny, this is funny. The nodes determine where we have eclipses. The nodes determine a big split as well. You see this? Oh, that's what I was saying. I lost the channel there for a second. So yeah, so if everything has to fit into one side or the other, okay? This is why people got they put a lot of this stuff in the Bible, okay? But they had to hide it, and they had to make parables. This is what they mean. This is what they mean that Eve was made from Adam. If everything is either light or dark, good or bad, yin or yang or yin, then the feminine is the dark one. The feminine is the evil one. That's how we got that. That's how that happened. And does not mean by the time the primary energies get complicated enough to make a human, we as humans have masculine and feminine within us. We're so complex. We are not the sun and the moon, just the sun and the moon. We have all of the elements within us. So all females are not just the moon, and all males aren't just the sun. Yet, This is the masculine and this is the feminine. Okay? These were how they hid the truths. And people got confused and thought that they were literal. They thought that literally females are evil, you know? It's the receptive principle. The light never dies. That's what this means. This is the constant. This is the constant. And that's what it means to look at the stars when it's dark. I think I had to talk about that because of this dark feminine. This dark lady. I didn't even think about it until just now. The dark feminine. The dark feminine is kind of like the high priestess. There's the dark feminine, and then there's the light feminine. There's the high priestess, and then there's the empress. The high priestess is what is usually, it represents the part of the feminine that is scary to the masculine. It's the unknown. It's the unknown one. It's the dark one. It's the cold one. She's the keeper of all the secrets. The high priest, or the empress, she's a little bit easier to digest for the masculine. It's the mother. She's the nurturer, the giver, you know. Yeah, feminine is the receptive principle, so we do usually have this inner knowing. There's also two sides of the masculine as well. There's the Hierophant, and then there's the emperor. There's also the magician, the emperor. There's different ways that we can look at these polarities, because after the primary split, 1 and then comes 2 from 1, the magician and then the high priestess, then it keeps splitting. By the time we get to human form, we're pretty complicated. We're not just light and dark. Okay? Does that make sense? Please write in the comments below if this makes sense, if I'm explaining these things in a way that is digestible. Now, I know I do have that about me. That's part of my mercurialness. Yeah, I'm very feminine. But I also have this way of rational thinking is masculine. I'm breaking this stuff down. Now, hopefully I'm breaking this stuff down in a way that is understandable and digestible to you. Digestible. The nodes are in Pisces and Virgo, okay? Virgo, my main sign, my rising sign, is the virgin. The virgins were the ones who harvested the wheat and made it and broke it down to make it digestible. It does have to do with our gut instinct, yes. But it also has to do with translating the unknown, translating the unseen, translating the faith of Pisces, the opposite. Pisces and Virgo. Pisces and Virgo are two sides of the same coin. Okay? Always. Do we need a Lenormand card for today, please, spirits? No. Birds and clouds. I mean, that looks like someone's talking shit behind your back. Someone's talking crap. That's just for some, okay? Someone might be a little bit of a mysterious character. And so there's some gossip. That's what birds can be about gossip. It's also just about talk. Okay, chatter. But that's coming with clouds. So again, we have this Neptune kind of energy. It's the King of Wands. This one's the 7 of Pentacles. Hold on now. Birds and clouds. Do we need any other Lenormand cards, please? I think that's book. Nope. Book. I'm going to show off these cards today. Creepster. Book. And what's this about? Book can be about mysteries, about things being revealed, secrets. We do have the gatekeeper. Someone's got the secrets. This is about the high priestess. We have the gatekeeper and the keymaster. We have the book, which is what the high priestess is holding in the tarot. And then we have the key, which is what reveals something. This can be about secrets and this can be about revealing. This could just be about the secrets of the other side. This could just be about what Toad has to offer you. This could just be about accessing the spirit realm and not being afraid of it. That could be what this is. The guardian of the gate and the singer of initiation. I'm initiating you guys. That's what's happening here. I'm initiating you guys and I'm giving you the keys. All right? Yeah, I am the high priestess. Yeah, the Hierophant is my birth card, but we can have that's the point. Now, this came to me before the Toad code even came to me. And before I realized the importance of keeping everything in order, what first came to me was the importance of recognizing all of the lessons at once. Okay? That it's not like we have to ever forget them. That it's not like we just pay attention to one at a time. We have to have all of them. We have to always be thinking about all of the lessons. It's not like we get justice one day and then we forget about it the next. No. The wheel spins faster and faster until it freezes. We become the cosmic dancer. Is that making sense? I get on these channels and then they go. I don't even remember what I was talking about. This can just be about speaking. During this time, we need to look at the torchbearer. Do you see her holding up a light in the darkness? We're constantly being pulled in two directions. This is what all of the chart is about, okay? You're going to start to hear right now about how I do astrology differently. We are not our signs. We are not our planets. We are not our placements. We are not our charts. Our charts are our physical reality. It's the bodies we came in. It's our destiny. It's the physical, all right? But we can break out of it. Each sign and its opposite. The chart is a wheel. I hate when people look at the charts like this. Everything's a circle. The chart is a wheel. It's like the color wheel, okay? So each sign and its opposite, each house and its opposite are two sides of the same coin, okay? It's totemism. Now, I use the nodes differently. If you go and look up the nodes online, you're going to get the evolutionary astrologers version of what the nodes are, which started in 1978, all right? Now, this in Toad believes, and this is based on ancient, this is a kind of a mixture between the Vedic viewpoint of the nodes. It's a mixture of the ancient viewpoint of the nodes, and it does have a little bit of the modern viewpoint of the nodes, but it also has my own little mix on it. It's where we flip-flop the most. It's where we have the hardest time finding the balance. I do believe that we're all trying to find totemism, the center of the wheel. The center of the wheel. I liken that to anything that's... I liken it to the Fool and the Magician. I liken it to the Star and the Ace of Cups. It's the center of the wheel. We are being pulled in separate directions, which makes up everything that we see. Okay? But when we can learn to find center, even when we're getting pulled, that's when we break out of our code. Okay? Where the nodes are is where it's hardest. Now, where the transiting nodes are, where the nodes are in the sky, okay? This determines where we have eclipses, and it's where the collective challenge is the most, where the collective pull is the most. Now, it's the nodes of the moon. It's what the north and the south node are. It's where the path of the sun and the path of the moon cross, because the sun is running on an ecliptic around the earth and the moon is running on an ecliptic around the earth, or, that's what it looks like around the zodiac, the ecliptic, okay? And there's a point where those cross. If they were constantly if the sun and the moon were on the same path, then every time we would have a full moon or a new moon, we'd have an eclipse. All right? The nodes determine because it's where they cross in the sky. So when we have a full moon, which is an opposition of the sun and the moon in the zodiac, but they're actually crossing over the same part of the sky, they eclipse each other. All right? It's in a supercharged full moon. It's a supercharged new moon. That's what eclipses are. I know we're not in eclipse season, but we have to talk about the nodes. I did mention, as soon as I got on here, that big Scorpio eclipse that we had 2 years ago on Halloween. It is a time of chaos. It's a time, and it's scary. When the light goes away, we need to have something to guide us. Otherwise, we get lost in the sauce. Otherwise, we get lost in the fog. Otherwise, the darkness overtakes us if we do not hold a light. Now, my feminines, we can access our dark feminine without being totally dark all the time. Now, a lot of the times we first are light, right? And then, in the process of becoming a woman or whatever, a lot of modern path of the woman is to find her dark feminine and to realize this, to integrate it. But then we don't have to be that all the time. Then we move back to the light feminine, and then we find a balance between the dark and the light feminine. Well, we'll get into that too. Now, for some of you out there, you are being initiated initiated into the dark, singer of initiation and the guardian of the gate, into the dark realms, into the shadow. Because this is the thing, guys. This is the thing. This is it. Oh my God. What some of you guys are realizing is that you can't actually be a fully realized spirit soul until you access your dark feminine. All right. This is for the masculines as well, right? But until you access your darkness, okay? This is for everyone. Until you go into your darkness. Now, the way that evolutionary astrology, the way that they talk about the North Node and South Node, they tell you that you need to go away from your South Node. That's your past life. That's where you came from. And that you need to strive for going towards your North Node in order to break karmic cycles. In order to advance spiritually. It's not fucking true. It is not fucking true. Me as Jess, I don't know anything for sure. But when I start to channel, this is where Toad gets serious. And I think part of what I'm here for is to debunk things. Or to offer a different perspective. Because all of this stuff is up for interpretation. All of it. Do you understand? So stop listening to every single astrologer out there. Stop listening to every single tarot reader out there. Because in the age of air, everyone's going to be doing this shit. Anyway, you go towards your North Node and you reject your South Node, you're going to end up right back where you came from. Especially in the age of air. Especially in the air age. The wheel is spinning faster. I guarantee you, back then in 1978, when Stephen Forrest came up with evolutionary astrology, there is great stuff in the archetypal evolutionary astrology. I'm not knocking it all together, okay? But I do know in my being and from studying thousands of charts at this point, from doing hundreds of readings, thousands almost of readings, from looking at thousands of charts, you will end up where you came from. The way to break out of the wheel, the way to break out of samsara, the way to break out of the wheel of karma, everything's a wheel, is to find the center, find the hub, the part that stays still when everything else spins around it. Everything else is spinning. And as the wheel spins faster, my friends, as the wheel spins faster, we are not going to know which way to go. So you go towards the light, you're going to get dark. You go towards the dark, you're going to get light. Boom, 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 boom. You need to find center. You need to find center. You need to find the center. This is like yesterday. You need to find peace. You need to find calm. You need to find the one. You need to find the star. That's what the star means. That is what the star means. It's the single star. It is not the stars. It's not the wheel, the entire wheel. Because you'll get confused going for one, or you get too focused in one way or the other. If you let your eye go off your course, devil, tower. Do you understand? The star is the single star that stays still when everything else spins around, and when all the other stars, which is all of our reality, spins around it. So when you're spinning in your mind, you come back to your faith. That's what the star is. It's what stays still. What can stay still when everything else is spinning? Every direction you look now, you're going to see the connections and it's going to make sense. You come back to the one. Do you want to keep spinning? It's really important. We're rewriting the book. I'm rewriting the book. There is no book on tarot, okay? We're just discovering. Since the 90s, my teacher, Chris Brennan of the Astrology Podcast, he's part of something called Project Hindsight, all right? And in the 90s, when it started, it was the first time that there were people who could translate ancient Greek, who thought it was worth it to translate the very few remaining books that we have on astrology. This is kind of what I'm doing with the tarot. This is kind of what I'm doing, is simplifying things. Because, yeah, connections are everywhere because everything is connected. Obviously. We all know that now. I said that already, right? I said that already today. Everything is connected. Fuck, where was I going with that? I just lost it. So if you go, that's it. So if you go up and out and look for connections, if you look for answers, if you keep questioning, you're going to find the connections to things. It's like going down any rabbit hole. It's unnecessary. It's going to trip you out. You're going to create it. That's what Neptune does. You're going to create it. This is how we create the self-fulfilling that's the moon. This is how we create that self-fulfilling prophecy. This is how we create a reality. And during the next 6 months to a year, it's Scorpio season. So Taurus season next year, I believe. It's like the beginning of Aries season. The beginning of Taurus season next year is when we're going to have the conjunction of Saturn and Neptune. They're retrograde now. They're back in Pisces. Mercury and the moon. We're getting messages right now. I'm giving you guys some answers. So pay attention. Saturn is what has been. It's the old ways, it's the laws, it's what we stand on, okay? And it's dissolving with Neptune. And people are going to get scared because they don't know. Because they're spinning. People are going to be spinning. This is why it's so important to have faith right now. And faith, again, people are scared of this word. That's why one of my first totemisms, the reclamation of the faith into the hands of the truly holy, it kept coming to me. Because I kept hearing the word faith when I started doing the cards, when I started really studying these things. I studied like every book that there was, and I'm putting the dots together for you. And so during this time, that's why they're doubling down. It's like they know, moon. We're going through a huge moon. See the crayfish? We're going through a huge collective moon, right? We're all in the dark right now. We're all unable to see exactly what it's going to look like. How is this going to go over? And because we're going to be spinning, like we can relate this to Uranus and Gemini. You can relate this to the Saturn, Neptune. You can relate this to Pluto and Aquarius. These are the slow moving transits. Okay. So this is going to be happening for a while, and this has to do with the collective awakening, okay? But during this time, it's either going to make or break, right? We can either spin out and go crazy and then cling on to what is known. This is what I keep saying. Or we have faith and we get through. Or we have faith and we get through the dark to the other side. And that faith is it's faith that we create our own reality. And I keep coming back to this. It's important. This is how I found God. I was an atheist when I was in high school. I'm a skeptic because I wanted to understand, okay? It was my aunt who actually was a Christian, but she never talked about religion with me. Not once. She was a born-again Christian. But she's with me now. I work with my aunt. She's here on the other side. Hi, Judith. Believe it or not, she taught me energy psychology. She taught me about quantum physics. She taught me about these universal laws, like the law of attraction, the law of manifestation, the law of assumption, okay? And that's what led me to God. Why? Because I saw that there was order. I saw that there was an overriding order in physical, that things have to go 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, it needs to go in order. And there's benevolence to the order. It was like specifically the idea of the placebo effect that got me. Because if when we don't know that things naturally go to good, like if we take our mind out of it, if we are sure in our heart, this goes with what I talked about yesterday. If when we take our mind completely out of it, you're in the placebo group and you think you're getting a drug and it works for you even though you're not, that's how this works. It's benevolent. We get the good if we believe it to be good. We get the bad if we believe it to be bad. When we start to question things and look to one side or the other, that black and white thinking of the high priestess, then we create something. We create whatever it is. We create good or bad. Is this making sense to you guys? The star is like the 3. It's 7, right? It's not light. It's not dark. It's the third special way. And then it will be good. If you trust that it's going to be good, if you have faith, if you trust that you're protected, then the demons won't get you. If you get out of your own way, I don't know for sure if I'm going to have this person. I don't know for sure if I'm going to be able to have this success. I don't know if I'm going for sure if I'm going to get out of the dark that I'm in. I don't know for sure if I'm not. I don't know for sure. We don't know one way or the other. But if we trust that God has our back, if we trust that the universe is benevolent, if we trust that there is an order to things, then we're gonna be good. This is how it works, friends. This is how it works. Get out of your own way. Be sure that things are going to work out for you. It doesn't have to look specific. This is what faith is about. This is what the star is about. The stars come out in the darkness. Will you wish upon a star? The North Star, the guiding light, the Star of Bethlehem. It's what we follow when we don't know where else to go. Otherwise, we stay in the dark. We stay in the dark. We stay the scorpion, and we never rise up and become the eagle. We all got Scorpio somewhere. I keep seeing this guy. He's the Knight of Wands. He's a torchbearer too. He's taking action with the wand. He's taking action with that torch. The wand can be many things. Each of the elements, each of the suits can be many things. They show the duality of life. A wand, a baton, says it here. I'm sure it says it. Cavalier de Baton. The Cavalier. I don't know how to speak French. Anyway, baton, right? It's a club. So a club can bludgeon. It's the fire, right? Fire can be aggression, can burn. You can burn something down, or you can alchemize. Fire lights the way. Fire alchemizes. Fire inspires. Fire warms. Fire also burns. Swords. They either protect you or they break you down. Cups. They either fill you up or they drain you. They could drown you. Pentacles. It's either an upward pointing star or a downward pointing star. Which is it going to be? It's always a little bit of both. We walk the middle path. Why? Because we chose to be fallen angels. We are all fallen angels. We chose to be of the earth. We are half spirit, half human. So we walk that middle path. So we continue to rise up. There's the King of Wands. There's the King of Wands, my torchbearers. King of Wands. We slice through the dark. We slice through the fog. We burn it off. Keeping them. We create our reality. It creates. The fire creates. It alchemizes. From what was stuck comes something new. We get there with our contentment. 9 of Cups. Our contentment with the way things are. You do not energetically get what you want by being in the frequency of not having it. You have to put yourself in the frequency, in the feeling that you already have it. That's what being sure does. That's what getting out of your own way does. The sun. We're gonna get through the dark. Fuck. 8. The sun. We got all Leos here. This is a lot of Leo energy. Leo. But we all have Leo. Where's your Leo? Where's the sun in you? That's your higher purpose. Where's the sun in your chart? That's your higher purpose. Have strength to get through the dark. Have strength to face your fears. Have strength to create your own reality. Have strength to notice how your thoughts are shaping what you see around you. This is one of the longest readings ever. Oh my God. Why? I haven't even pulled many cards yet. King of Wands on the table. Put the sun back. I wonder who's talking through me today. Sometimes I know and sometimes I don't. It's all from the Toad realm. And what do I say? What is the Toad realm? It's what's on the other side. It's the death energy and it's the moon energy. Ooh, I just got the Chariot. 7 to 17. We ride forward with our eye on the star. That's how we get through the dark, with determination. Now, the Rider-Waite-Smith decided to put a black and white horse on the Chariot to illustrate that black and white thinking and how it spins us around and gets us back to the drawing board. The way to be successful is to keep your eye forward. It's a card of movement, of travel, of after you make a decision at the level of the Lovers, you go forward. And how do you make a decision at the level of the Lovers and not have it end up be a Tower moment? You use the Toad code. You make sure that you're not settling. You make sure that you're acting within your morals and your values. There's the Death. The Nameless Arcanum. I thought it would be the first card today on Halloween, but that's the Surrender. They were so afraid of it that they didn't even put the name. They were afraid to even utter it. Someone's going through a transformation. I saw the King of Swords with that. We need to... You need to finally see, I was about to say this earlier too, with becoming, in order to really start creating your own reality, you have to accept the fact that you've created everything up until this point. That's justice. Comes after the wheel, you know, it's like, oh yeah, shit. So you have to kind of accept that, and then break down the towers, break down, you know, you've been building your life on something false because you didn't think that you created it, that you didn't think that you could have whatever you want. So you've been creating in a wrong direction out of fear, because we always go through this Neptune, you know, there's always something veiled in illusion. That's part of the game. It's trying to figure this out. So now it's time to break down these towers so we can build something real. So we can build something based on our hard yeses and our hard no's, our needs and our values, what we can and cannot compromise on, based on the 4 elements, a firm foundation, based on the Toad Code. Stop. 7 of Wands. We need to stick to what we believe. We need to fight against the devil. 7, the Chariot, the Star, represents what it's time. It's time to face our it's time to resist temptation. It's time to do the hard work. The Wheel. It's fucking time, guys. It is time. Okay, is there anything else I need to say from the tarot? This is a really long one. There's the Tower. Yeah, look, the Tower. Oh my god, look, there's the Queen of Wands under it. So we got the King and the Queen of Wands, my torchbearers. Big realizations. Big realizations. Think about it. Think about it. What have you been settling for in your life? You build whole careers thinking that you can't have your dreams. You build whole relationships thinking that you can't be with the one that you really want. You live in whole parts of the world believing that you can't live in a part of the world that you really want. Welcome to the hell that you created. Time to break it down. Time to light up something new. Time to have a new beginning when it comes to your physical reality. And it starts with the fire. Then we go to the cup. Then we think about it righteously this time. Then the new life builds. We get out of our own way. 4 of Swords. We relax our mind. 9 of fucking Cups. Here's the Sun again. The Lovers, the Wheel. Again. It's all in our choices, guys. Are you going to take the tempting path, or are you going to take the righteous path? The tempting path, the path of the temptress, keeps us stuck. It's when we settle. It's when we make decisions based on fear. We make decisions based on fear all the time. I'm going to choose to stay in this relationship. I'm going to choose to stay at this job. I'm going to choose to keep doing these things that I think I have to do because I'm afraid. You're in chains. You're stuck. Then you're going to need to have a huge fucking liberating tower moment in order to get you unstuck from the chains of the devil. Oh, we take the path of the Queen of the Heavens. We rise up. We go for what's harder. Because this is a game, guys. Do you think you're going to beat the game by running away from the hard levels? This is what I was going to say about the nodes, you know? We need to go into the darkness. We need to go towards our darkness in order to get out of it. We need to. We need to go into the hard parts. When we run away from the things that challenge us, that's what going towards the North Node is. I'm going to run away from the things that are hard. We often run from our desires because we believe we can't have them. And then that causes them to come back and bite us on the ass. More than anything. 4 of Wands came out too. This is building our life on that fire. This is coming out into the open about what you really want. It's building your life on your passions. Because if you don't, are you really going to live your life? Are you really going to live your entire life denying this in the age of air? How are you going to live in the sunlight? How are you going to live in the sun if you're denying your desires? That's a huge thing to forget. How are you going to forget that? How are you going to forget that? Contentment. You can't. You have to rise up now, guys. It's the only way. Judgment. You have to rise up now. Either you stay sleeping, living the life of the walking dead, or you rise up to your calling. And sometimes your calling is just love. Sometimes your calling is just man, woman, and child. Sometimes your calling is just to be happy. Sometimes your calling is just to not deny yourself. Quit denying yourself of your joy. What does it look like for you, guys? This is the scary thing. This is the biggest spook. Yourself. The scariest thing? You. And what you can do to yourself. What you can do to your life. Big towers. Big towers. What do you choose? There's this one where we don't really know. And then there's this. And this is the thing now. Judgment. This is the thing now. Il giudizio. Queen of Cups was down here. We can't unsee. We know now. And that's why there's going to be a lot more people rising up. That's why there's going to be a lot more people that are graduating from the game of life. Are you getting it? The tarot was made for this time when people were going to be leaning on divination. And you know what? Back around to the beginning, like I always do. Back around to the beginning. This stuff can let in evil spirits. It can. But you know how? With your fear. If you are pulling cards and pulling cards and pulling cards, asking questions and asking questions and asking questions, because you don't fucking have faith, you let in evil spirits. Fear is how we let in evil spirits. Fear is how we let in the demons. Fear is how we let in the evil. There is no other way. So if you are leaning on these stuff, as soon as you start relying on this without listening to your own inner guidance, there needs to be, I like to say, we are all God. So you could just have faith in yourself. But that also has to have a string to the outer. All right. There's the inner self and then there's the outer self. There's the little self and then there's the big self. There's collective self. There's the universe, right? And so the chariot to the star, the chariot is like us, our own inner belief in ourself to the star, because we'll lose everything at the tower, right? And then you kind of have to find it without. So there's like this thread between your heart, from your third eye to the star that guides you forward. You let the fuck go of that wheel. You let the fuck go of that wheel. Do you understand? Then you'll get here. Then you'll get to your 10 of Pentacles. High Priestess, the keeper of all the secrets, the holder of the book. There's the King of Cups. They're in love. Oh, yeah. They're in love. They are in love. And they got the hots for each other. King and Queen of Wands. But we're not talking about them today. In that way. We're talking about what we need to do for ourselves. Okay. I think I'm done. I think I'm done pulling tarot cards. I should read these. I got the chariot again. That's why. Actions needed. Get out. Get out of the crossroads. You know what you have to do. You have to get out of the crossroads. You know you have to take the righteous path. You know it. You can't run from your destiny. You know what your destiny is now. You know what you have to do. You see clearly. We all do. We all are seeing the wheel. We're seeing our tendencies. We have all the secrets to all the universe within us. Everything is clear in the light of day. What are you supposed to do? I knew I had to talk a lot today. With the whale, I kind of think a lot about the King and the Queen of Cups, because the King and the Queen of Cups, they speak without speaking. They're the ones with like that telepathic kind of, they can speak without speaking. They use that, the whale song. They're telepathic. So I do think about that. Also, this is the record keeper, right? It's like the gatekeeper and the keymaster, which is what we're getting here. All right. This is the record keeper. It's like the high priestess. It's what we know. High priestess is 2. 2, like the 2 of cups. 2, like the primary split. So there is love here. There is a message of this. Okay. But this is also about us unifying, also us trusting this inner knowing, also you guys listening to me and waking up to this, that you have all the knowledge, okay? Whale. And I think that Black Panther has to do with integrity, yeah, I think so. We'll see. And Blue Heron, I forget what that's about too. Blue Heron is self-reflection. Wake up. And Black Panther 52, embracing the unknown. It's justice, We have to see ourselves clearly. If you really want to be a torchbearer, if you really want to create your own reality, that means that you have to accept everything that has gotten you here. You have to accept your hand in it. You have to accept your hand in it. It has to, but that doesn't mean to shame yourself. It might take a minute of that. That's the hangman. When we finally really see justice, when we finally see the hangman, we take accountability. We feel bad about it. And then we go through the transformation with death, okay? That's embracing the unknown as well. So self-reflection. If the great blue heron has flown into your cards today, it is urging you to dive into the watery world of feelings. Grand water trine. To seek your truth. Heron teaches you to develop your self-reflective skills that you may come to know yourself in an intimate way. We're just denying this because we're scared. We're scared to look at ourselves. We're scared to present ourselves. Looking at yourself through a filmy lens of self-importance, the cloudy perceptions of low self-worth. King of Wands. The King of Wands is very confident. He has good self-esteem. He uses his ego for the good. All right? We don't want to be have a cloudy vision of ourselves. We're not a leader that way. We're not a true King of Wands or Queen of Wands. Let me read that again. Looking at yourself through a filmy lens of self-importance, the cloudy perceptions of low self-worth, or the myopic eyes of self-pity, you will never understand your true potential. You will never understand your true potential or appreciate the opportunities that appear. Let me read this again. Looking at yourself through the filmy lens of self-importance, that's reversed King of Wands. Of low self-worth, that's reversed King of Wands. Of self-pity, that's reversed King of Wands. That's also reversed King of Swords. You will never understand your true potential or appreciate the opportunities that appear. Opportunities are popping up all the time. The opportunity to live a life. The opportunity to play the game of life on Earth. And to win. Heron asks that you examine yourself with a cold eye. Justice. The High Priestess. To see what you wish to improve and how you want to change. If you get stuck in the process, it may be a sign that you are being too hard or critical. Choosing to blame others and constantly pointing a finger at life situations instead of claiming responsibility for your actions, this is justice, shows that you lack the courage to face the enemy within. What did I say? What do I always say, guys? We came here to fight a fight. We came here to play a game, and games aren't fun unless there are challenges, okay? In every movie, every game, we fight the adversary. We fight the adversary, and the biggest adversary is ourselves. The scariest thing is truly seeing ourself. Horrifying. Spooky season. Heron medicine people are willing to look at themselves and see the truth of their motives, actions, feelings, dreams, goals, inner strength, and inner weaknesses. In balancing those truths, Heron's medicine shows you how to meet the challenges of your personal weaknesses and how to continue developing the skills that lead to inner strength and certainty of purpose. The magnificence of your human spirit lies waiting for the joy of discovery. If you are courageous enough to follow the water bird throughout the journey, Heron reminds you that every traveler on life's journey is a messenger, and that every destination is the beginning of a new life cycle on the medicine wheel. Right into the unknown, embracing the unknown, right into the darkness, we must go. Are you ready? Are you ready to face the unknown? Are you ready to face the dark lady? Are you ready to face your inner darkness? Are you ready to, in order to become light, in order to become whole, in order to get your desires? It's so exciting. It's so exciting. Here we go. If Black Panther has appeared today, maybe telling you not to worry about the future. Trust that you are not supposed to mentally figure it out. This time, you may need to confront your fears of the unknown, of being less than you truly are, or an inability to simply be. You can be. You're perfect how you are. Let go of fears that appear as obstacles or barriers. Embrace the unknown and flow with the mystery that is unfolding in your life. It's exciting. This is where the magic happens. When you let go of your fears, when you stop taking the fear-based path, when you stop taking the path of the devil, of fear, that's all the devil is fear. And you start embracing the unknown. You start trusting. You start letting go of the fucking wheel. The next step may be leading you empty-handed into the void with implicit trust. In the stillness of the void, find the will to avoid foolish interruptions. Don't get tempted. Don't turn around. Don't get scared by the shadows and the moon. Going deeper into your own self-discovery and healing process. Here you will discover Black Panther's unexpected blessings. Guys. Holy shit, guys. I haven't read The Dark Lady. Not in a while. It's about unconscious power and wisdom, rituals, mysteries, and secrets. The fucking high priestess. She's the keeper of the secrets. This is what this reading has been about. This is what I'm doing, is offering you this. I'm revealing the secrets to you. That was on backwards. Okay, that's better. The Dark Lady is the high priestess of the mysteries. She understands how to surrender to divine power. Surrender, guys, that's what death is about. To unity, card 1. She has the profound... This reading is about not being afraid to be in the dark. Not being afraid of Halloween. Not being afraid of the Dark Ladies. Not being afraid of your powers. So if you guys are like waking up to your intuitive abilities, it can be really scary. Like, I have been doing this a lot longer than a lot of you guys. Everyone's waking up right now, but I've been in touch with this for a really long time. So like, if you're waking up to your powers, it can be scary. You have to trust it. We find her through meditation, in sleep, and within inner peace, ecstasy, and total despair. She holds the embryonic hopes we have not yet realized we have. The Dark Lady is the mistress of the spiritual ritual. The purpose of the ritual is not the power it allegedly has over gods or spirits or fairies, but the very real power it may have over us, putting us into the state of consciousness where we may better connect to our own magic and to other world beings. This is why we do have to protect ourselves. The Dark Lady understands that ritual is something we surrender to and we allow to enfold us rather than something we do or control. It's not about casting spells. She is there at our very last moments of deepest grief, helping us to move forward to the stillness and peace of the place beyond grief. Death to temperance. Our sorrows are transformed within her. She teaches us surrender. This is like the death energy. Walking with us through the valley of the darkest shadow. She is there as we experience the ecstasy of release. Then she guides us back to this reality, renewed and illuminated. From her come those spiritual awakenings that seem to blossom within us out of nowhere. When we travel through the darkness, inner or outer, we learn the strengths of the Dark Lady. We may reach the realm of the Dark Lady through grief, through deep surrender, through ecstasy, or through profound ritual. This card in a reading suggests that it's time to withdraw from the ordinary world, to revitalize ourselves through retreat and surrender to the source. I was feeling this yesterday. Someone needs to go on a retreat. It's me. This is a time of preparation for a rebirth, of restoration and regeneration. Yeah, it's like 2 is the high priestess. 2 also relates to 11, which is justice. Justice, hangman, death. That's what we're going through. What is hidden is getting ready to be revealed. The key and the book, this is revealing. Celebrate this passage through the unknown, rich, fertile, hidden realms of the Dark Lady. This is a time in the natural cycle of life when we open ourselves to and receive the inflowing energies of Himself, card 17, when we become powerful, overflowing with the life force. Someone is stepping into their divine potential. It may also be a time of prophecy, magic, and foretelling of the potentials of the future. A time of self-awareness, self-knowledge, and encounters with the hidden worlds. Meditate, retreat, seek serenity and inner peace. We also have the Singer of Initiation and the Guardian of the Gate. Someone's helping you through the gate right now. You're being initiated. I don't think I need to read those. Go through the gate. Don't be afraid to step into the unknown. Don't be afraid of the song. Don't be afraid of the water. You have to learn to float. You have to trust yourself to the waters. Fear not, my kings and my queens. Slice through the dark. Happy Halloween!